Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another backtesting video. So we're going to continue on. So we had CPI. Wasn't exactly the most. Let's just move out to the hourly time frame. I think wasn't really the most. I mean, yeah, we did have this big energetic move. To be fair, to the upside, didn't purge any liquidity at the highs or the lows. So nothing really to be done here. Nothing to be done. So we're going to keep this moving. Just going to clean up some stuff. So again, yesterday we had, or sorry, today, no high time frame framework caused by a Kraken correlation, therefore no trade. We want that high time frame framework to support any ideas. So I am going to, we're going to fast forward now to, well, let's go to the next session, see what we get. So purge, everyone purge this low. So again, yeah, I wouldn't be necessarily looking for something here. So we're going to go to the following day. That should be London, and then we just want to go to the start of New York, like so. Okay, so let's venture out to the daily. Sorry, actually, let me just go back to the hourly. Get rid of that, and that. Go out to the 4 hour. It's kind of interesting. We'll leave the BPRs in for now. Take that out. Okay. And do that. And if we look here, we obviously have that high of the day, which is extremely close to the H4 liquidity pool, which technically speaking we can remove. This now becomes our point of interest, so I will go to that. Relative equal highs on YM. Okay, but I want to venture out to the daily. I want to see what we've got here, and relatively speaking, we've got symmetrical price action. Not really seeing anything other than the fact that institutional order flow remains bearish. Obviously the market traded up into the order block. Here we can see didn't reach so high. So currently relatively symmetrical price action, so not really looking at anything to do. We're just going to check the weekly. Yeah. So I'm going to be spending most of the time on the H4 time frame. So we just want to analyze previous days, obviously looking back than the last 4. Actually, I want to, yeah, we want to, well, it's rejected. Let's keep that. That might be of interest per se. Well, Actually, let me just check this level. No, they've all purged that level, so it's not that important. Okay. No imbalances other than the BPR here. Small H4, but as you can see here, balanced, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. Daily outlook. So we've got PPI today. So IOF. So this is still to the downside, despite the fact that, you know, we may be looking for longs. It's still to the downside. So we can take the narrative from yesterday. That has not changed. So relative to the weekly and daily time frame, this has shifted bearish following the violation of the BISI weekly / daily. That hasn't changed. And just to sort of and the following part of the fact that the move was supported by a high time frame crack and correlation at the highs, that is correct. And we've obviously seen the manipulation at the old highs, whilst old lows have been displaced through. That part is also true. And we could sort of emphasize that on the H4 as well. So we're going to take that statement as well, because that is also true. So ERL / IRL. So let's see if we've got anything of note other than the weekly, which to me appears as though we're going to trade to and through. That's what it looks like, not necessarily saying we will. We are in a discount of the range. That's also important to note. Perfect place if we are going to see higher prices. So again, you know, if we're looking at our previous statement, my immediate attention will be to determine whether the market trades to and through or rejects. Either will be confirmed by a high time frame crack and correlation, and that is true at even at this weekly / daily. I can certainly see NQ trade to the daily BISI. Whether the others do, not so certain. But so I think that the ERL IRL statement still rings true. We want to see where the next crack and correlation is, and that will ultimately determine where the next high time frame draw will likely be. Okay, that's what I'm focusing on. So drop down to the H4. So if we just take the highlighter, we obviously had this level, that level. Okay, so SPs, I've noted the clean and clear swing points above and below the mark and below current price, referencing the previous day's high and previous day's low. Okay, this has also formed either side of the true week open. be where near term liquidity would reside. Okay. So if we were to see a purge of those key price levels, that could determine where a high probability trade idea could fall. So TO, currently all members are trading above their true week open. Now, this one is actually not that important because it can change. It's quite fluid. Do you know what I mean? So, however, to see high probability longs, I would want to see price trade below its true week open and vice versa for high probability shorts. So currently, you know, if we trade higher, purge the highs and so on, high probability shorts. It's me. The interesting part is obviously the BPR, because we could violate the BPR and then trade back above. So I'm not convinced by the BPR, if I'm honest. It's not. Yeah, that's sort of the least of. I can see that being violated and the markets still continue higher is essentially what I'm saying. I'll leave it in there for reference, but yeah. Okay, so we haven't noted any near-term high time frame crack and correlation to support an idea, so we need to see that. Okay. And then we jump down to our game plan. So bullish is clearly, bearish is clearly institutional order flow. So that's where the high probability move is going to potentially come from. That is a H4 high. Which is important, and it probably references the Asia range. So we'll mark that up. Okay. Cool. So let's drop down to. Okay, so it's actually the London high. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward in terms of what I'm looking for. Primarily, there's only really two. So if the market trades above the true week open and purges the previous day's high coupled with high time frame crack and correlation, this could set the stage for lower prices, which would be in alignment with institutional order flow. Or two, if the market trades below the true week open and purges the previous day's low, coupled with high time frame crack and correlation, this could set the stage for higher prices. Now, I'm not, from a sort of situational standpoint, I'm not looking at any other model, because any sort of high time frame continuation model would require the high time frame Kraken correlation, and any low time frame would as well. So they're the only two models that I'm looking for. Yeah, that would be that. Let's just have a look at, I think that one's the low. Yeah, so we haven't got that yet. So I'm just going to drop down to the 15. Let's get our timestamps in where we anticipate in volatility injections. So here, and okay. So again, we're looking for one of these two. That's the H4. So let's just be mindful. We're in that range. And in actual fact, we could stick on the H1, because again, until now, actually, to be fair, this level could be classified as a high time frame Kraken correlation. It could be. I wouldn't necessarily like it, but it could be seen as one with a short term play down to here. It could, because it's in the right area. So I'm going to bear that in mind. I'm not going to document that as a third model, because it's technically the first model, but just using a, if you will, in terms of ranking order, a lower liquidity pool. That's the bigger liquidity pool up here. Okay. So let's excuse me, let's play time on. We can stick on the M5. We're going to get towards the high impact news. I want to see, so currently price is now below true week open, trading down towards, now we get the news. Let's see if PPI hasn't really offered anything as of yet, if we're looking at this, so PPI. But look at that liquidity that is starting to generate at the highs. That's liquidity. You can see it building, so kind of sets the stage for potential higher prices if we see it. Equities open. Okay. NQ looks as though, so really nothing. We're just sort of in this tight range. There's like nothing right now as far as I'm concerned. I want to just venture out to the yeah, no, so nothing here. Do have an hourly liquidity pool here, which we can, well, we got sort of two. One's let's just we'll put this hourly liquidity pool in H1, because we can't for certain say, oh yeah, this is the New York high or anything of that nature. Can't say that yet. Okay, so okay, and drop back down to the 15. Prices all below, technically below the true week open. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now we've got this expansion higher. So I didn't check the H4, which I needed to. Nothing's changed on the H4. Rejection from the BPR potentially. I still think potentially coming back to clear the lows, but we'll see. Yes, so we're just relative equal highs printed on NQ. We're at 10:30. Okay. Can't say this is I mean, this is the inception of the move and all of that sort of stuff is not above here. I mean, look at ES is below. So as far as I'm concerned, there isn't anything to do. It's not very nice price action, that much I can tell you. Sort of seek and destroy. We get into that trade execution window, exit, and yeah, nothing unfortunately for us. Let's just go back out to the hourly. Zero. Symmetrical lows. It's really nothing of any significance. Let's play it on. We'll just venture back out to the M5. Certainly NQ appears to be moving higher. Now we've got ES has hit the H4 high. So I would be anticipating higher prices here, but again we still have no. If we look at the H4 time frame, there's no high time frame framework to work with here. So it's certainly looking as though it's likely to be one potential high probability trade idea maybe for the week. But NQ certainly repricing higher towards it. We're getting to the PM session. Nothing. All of them have purged this H4. So if we go out to the H4, we can see they've all purged that. So I'm just going to bring that in. Okay, drop down to the hourly, bring that in as well. Okay, and we're just going to, where are we? We'll go to 2 o'clock and then we will adjourn this session. But I'm not looking at does certainly seem to be promoting higher prices. Okay, it's gone past 2 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to leave this one here. No high time framework for me to work with. As you can see what I outlined in terms of what I was looking at the lows, what I'm looking at the highs. The market is meandering inside of that previous day's range. So it's low probability for me. But hopefully something will set up. Probably looking at Thursday to be a day where potentially we'll have some form of opportunity to engage the market, but we shall see. So this one's a really quick one. Very much got straight down to business. Identified all the things that we want to see. Institutional order flow still being bearish. However, we're seeing the market within this consolidation here haven't purged any high time frame key liquidity pool yet in order for us to frame a trade. Sort of meandering in and around the true week open and so on. So until we see this high time frame crack and correlation at this high time frame key liquidity pool, nothing to be done. So we'll wait. I'm going to leave this one here. Hopefully you've taken something away from this episode. And guys, I will catch you in the next one.